this is Oscar Mikey, and welcome back to the Luck of the Irish Ironman Achievement 1. We're straight back into the game. First thing I'm going to do is take out a loan and make sure that I recruit some cavalry and infantry units, because it is abundantly clear that given the fact that we are under the spectre of a possible offensive coalition, I am going to go right ahead and start building an army, just in case. We do have all those loans I was talking about. And this is a nice little event here. Sale of titles, +1 stability. I will gladly take it. Okay, so we've just had a declaration of war against us from Holland. That is a result of the aggressive expansion we just accumulated from our war with England. Okay, so I'm going to build up mass martial up army. Wow, we really didn't get any time. No breather for us, unfortunately. I'm straight back into the episode. We're just off the back of a very devastating war. We've got loans to repay, but it looks like we're going to be fighting with Holland. So, lucky enough, well, not really lucky enough, I've started building up my army size a little bit. And I've unmothballed my fleet. Looks like France has honoured our call to arms. Denmark did not. They've betrayed us, like the traitorous Danes they are. So, and looks like Holland here is launching a little amphibious landing in Cornwall. So, not much of a breather, unfortunately. We're straight back into the pits of eternal war, and we're going to have to see how we can do. So, my strategy here is France is just going to be absolutely steamrolled if we can't transport troops to the continent immediately and support them in their endeavour. So I'm gonna see if I can defeat their fleet first. That'll secure the channel crossing so we can start ferrying over troops to France and possibly give them some aid in this war, because the coalition will be able to accrue sufficient war score from beating up France to demand peace concessions from me. And I do not want that to happen, so the peace concessions will probably be pretty brutal. So I'm going to have to take this war seriously. We're not just going to allow France to be rolled over, because, you know, they are going to probably want concessions from us since we are the war leader. Looks like France is doing pretty good so far, but it is a pretty significant coalition, so I'm going to go ahead and send them help. And we are going to have to forestall for now, paying off those loans, because, I mean, look at this stuff. Look at these titanic battles happening on the continent. So my troops are landed in Picard. Or Picardy. That's it, Picardy, not Picard. I still have my excellent general left over from our successful war with England. We are still in the process of constructing corps, didn't even have the opportunity to do that, so I'm trying to run down these reinforcing regiments in Cambrai and Rafale here, whilst ferrying my entire army over. And we do eliminate a single regiment, that's every so yeah, France lost that battle in Brabant, and I'm going to have to get the hell out of here. All the while focusing on ferrying over as many troops as I can. My army isn't really going to help France that much. It's more about keeping my general. Most of my troops are obviously infantry as well. I can't really afford cavalry with them at loans we had to take out, so it's going to be mostly using my general in the hope of swinging these battles in France's favour. We can delay the war long enough and wipe peace out. I can go back to slaving my people for tax revenue in order to pay off our loans, in the hope that we avoid bankruptcy. So France has a number of fortifications. I see the coalition is currently working down one in the northeast. France has its army parked in Paris, which is fine, I guess. I almost have all my troops successfully ferried over. And once I've done that, I'll seek to enforce as strong a blockade as I can. We're in positive war score now, but we are heavily outnumbered, so this is going to be quite a tricky conflict. We're so far now outside the realms of what You know, I mean, the guide is sort of falling apart in the sense that I wasn't really anticipating this offensive declaration from a coalition so early on, especially with France and Denmark as our allies, but it has happened, so... yeah, we'll take this battle. We should be able to win easily. We eliminate small armies in battles like this. We give France a fighting chance. I was actually hoping in France reinforcing us straight away. They didn't, but we still defeated that army, and that's going to allow us to move into the Burgundian capital and take out another single artillery regiment, which are extremely valuable. We can eliminate this. We're on the course to victory. Yeah, there we go indeed. Okay, we have an entire army in France now, consisting of 9 infantry regiments, some of which are mercenaries because our manpower is atrociously bad, and a single cavalry unit, and we'll see what good we can do with that. Again, I'm worried that if France is steamrolled in this war, the coalition will probably demand concessions from us, and if they will be able to get enough war score to stability hit us if we decline the peace offer. I suspect, having experienced wars like this before, so I am going to throw my full weight behind France in the hope that we can... The aim here is to wipe peace out, but obviously if we could score victory that would be great, but a white peace would be fine from my point of view. Alright, and Flanders' army is on the move. Looks like France is going to attack into Picardy. I will go ahead and see if I can reinforce. They may not need my troops, but they could certainly do with my general. No, they will. They're suffering extremely high. Wow, France's army is getting annihilated. Okay, well, we arrived there just in time. Not sure if it's going to make the difference. Actually, it may well. We may well have just saved France from a very costly defeat. Yep. Our 9 regiments make all the difference, and we inflict another defeat on the coalition. We can keep doing that. Keep France in this war. Then hopefully we can save ourselves from having to release nations or concede provinces or any of the other things that this coalition will no doubt intend to exact upon us. So here's another offensive battle. Yep, my superior general's really making a huge contribution here with this high shock value. Looks like we're going to be able to secure another victory. So this war is going extremely well for us so far. We're still outnumbered, but if we can continue picking off their armies in these victories, then we can stave off what would appear inevitable. England, again, at the end of the last episode, Castile declared war on England. They are actually mounting a very effective invasion of England at the moment, so I'm gonna recruit, take out yet another loan and recruit a couple more cavalry regiments. That'll use up the last of our manpower. That's okay though, because we're more or less relying upon mercenaries at this point. And we got our ships blockading Holland. And it looks like we're going to be successfully reoccupy Cambrai very shortly. Loans, loans, loans. So many loans, so much inflation. Borrowing increases. More good news. We will take the autonomy, unfortunately. Okay, so not disheartened by the... Now here's the problem. France has gone ahead and moved their army into sieging one of the Burgundian provinces. My army is currently in Paris because I don't feel suicidal at the moment. I don't know why France has done that. Unfortunately, because they have superior army numbers to our own, they won't actually attach to our regiments and follow us around. They're certainly feeling free to prosecute the war in whichever way they want. So they are going to be badly mauled without me being able to assist them, because I know better than to sacrifice my regiments that far north in Burgundy. And you can see they're about to be attacked. I do not believe I will be able to reinforce them. I'm not sure if France can win that battle. They are fighting a defensive battle, but I believe that France is still a military tech level behind Burgundy's troops. It looks like I have screwed up, and I'm going to take a defensive battle here in Paris. I will not be stack wiped, but I'm going to lose heavy casualties here, so that's bad news for us. Yeah, suffer heavy casualties. Fortunately, able to extricate my army before it's totally destroyed. France may be able to win this battle. If they do, it's going to be really good news. They are indeed. Okay, France is actually ahead of technology of Burgundy and at parity with Flanders and Holland, it does appear. So that's something to take into consideration. I'm going to try and marshal up my army once again in Paris and see if I can help France. It looks like they're going to take another defensive battle here in Namur. Or Namur. Okay, I become movement locked, unfortunately, with my cavalry regiments. Another bit of a blunder here. Porting naval supplies. Probably take the mercantilism at this stage. Okay, so I just lost 2 cavalry regiments. I was not expecting to stack right there. Didn't spot that regiment. Don't know why a 4,000 regiment would be attacking in that province, but things are quickly going from bad to worse here. Part of the reason why mistakes like these are being made is you know, speed is always in ×3, and so it's pretty inevitable that you're going to occasionally have regiments caught unaware. So that's a bit of a shame, but as long as we can keep France in the fight, we should be able to do okay. See if I can occupy this province. Bit of payback here, able to eliminate 2 understrength Burgundian regiments. They just happened to be walking that way, not really sure what they were doing, similar to my cavalry regiments in the last battle. Another army's coming into Raphael, so I will see if I can intercept that. France has actually very kindly attached some regiments to my own, so that's boosted my army strength considerably. Yep, able to eliminate quite a number of regiments there. So Burgundy has successfully sieged down 2 of France's fortifications. That has probably trapped France's army. I'm not exactly sure how that works. Either way, it looks like France is going to be locked in that siege in Namur for some time to come. Which is bad news because the coalition is marshalling up another army in Hainaut. So, time to run away. Run far away because we are going to be outnumbered. Leave France to its fate. Retreat my army south of Paris where they cannot pursue us. Making sure to continue raising war taxes. Right, another army, another small understrength regiment here I can eliminate. Go in and take it out. Good job. Just trying to aid France as much as I can here. Yeah, we are heavily outnumbered. Looks like Paris is going to see France has been incredibly stupid in their army movements. They're busying about sieging down fortifications, whereas they should be following my army. And if they were, I would almost certainly try to relieve the siege of Paris, but I have no control over them. They're free to act in their own volition. So, Paris, it looks like it's just going to be taken out, and that's going to accumulate the enemy a large amount of war score. I'll see if I can occupy some Burgundian provinces in return, but I'm not particularly hopeful because, again, that siege in Paris is about to expire. Yeah, looks like we got an enemy army moving down now, so I'm retreating my army. Yeah, France is going to take some battles here. I'm not even sure. I think that they may be movement locked because of their own incompetence. No, they can actually move into Champagne, so... But they're not going to. They're going to keep sort of roaming about in the north of France while their capital is sieged down. So I'm going to keep my army in a strong defensive province, regroup it, and wait and see, basically. Wait and see what France is going to do. They are making their first smart move in a while, attacking into Picardy, so... They are going to win that battle, assuming that reinforcements don't get in their time. I'm going to take that opportunity to wipe out a few small enemy armies around Champagne. No, France is going to lose that battle, unfortunately. We win our battle, they lose theirs. I think that they are going to be movement locked. Well, they are now, because Paris has just been... Paris has fallen. The enemy is at the gates. So, I don't know where... France will not be able to retreat into the south. So, I don't have much hope that France is going to be able to save that army. I'm trying to see where I can move with my army. It's not looking very good. Almost completely movement locked here. I'll move into Paris and see if I can eliminate this enemy army. Looks like we will. This is not the type of war I was hoping to fight so soon after our victory against England. Nonetheless, sometimes you don't choose wars, they choose you, and that's exactly what's happened here. Good news is we finished off most of our corps, all of our corps, in fact, no, all with the exception of one, and English is an accepted culture. That's going to boost our base tax a lot and help us deal with the prospect of unrest. Am I going to be caught here? No. Thankfully, I believe my leader's superior maneuverability really saves the day there. So let's see what France is going to do. They're going to attack once again. I'm not going to be able to reinforce because there's so many damn fortifications obstructing my way. They lose the battle handily. So let's give up and trying to assist them. There. Yeah, you can see the strength of this coalition here. Really superior numbers are just sort of wearing us down. Yeah, they could be stack wiped here. I'm not too sure. They might be able to save themselves for one more battle, but it's not looking good. Yeah, that's a stack wipe. Yep, there they go. 12,000 French troops destroyed, and I can move south, thankfully. And that's where I'm going to stay. That is where I'm going to stay until France is able to marshal up any sort of reasonable army. This is proving to be a very bitter struggle indeed. I was hoping the war would go a little better than it is. So it's almost inevitable now that France is going to have to give the coalition some concessions in the subsequent peace. That's not too fatal for me. It's bad news for France, obviously. So we should be able to win this battle. We do take a -2 modifier to attacking force. Nope. Will we win? No, we don't. They get there in time, so I'm going to have to retreat straight away. I'll retreat now. We do inflict heavy casualties in the attacking force, but war score and prestige and all that goes their way, unfortunately. Got one more province to core. We should be able to start that shortly. Yep, this war is not going too well. I don't think that it would have been possible, to be honest, to have won this war. But if we can delay it and sue for a white peace, France has actually been able to build up quite another significant army. I will reinforce France in the hope that we can win this battle. I'm not sure if we can. No, I don't think we will be able to. We'll see. We are getting good rolls, but no way, no chance. So I'm going to have to retreat once more. Yeah, we inflict again heavy casualties on the on our opponents, but suffer another defeat. That was a battle France took. I was not at all interested in fighting that engagement, but not much I can do when France continues to waste their army strength in ill-fated attacks. They're going for another. I have no idea where they're going now. We are heavily outnumbered though, so just buying time and then maybe give the coalition some concessions. That'll be France making the concessions, not me, of course. Take a bit of mercantilism. If France continues to follow me, we have a shot, but I'm not really sure what to do at this point. We can try and retake control over Paris. That will be a start, but that's going to take at least a year if we're lucky. So we'll see if we can accomplish that. Normandy, I see, has been released from England. That's going to help us in our next war with England in renew army taxes, of course. Take out this Burgundian cavalry regiment. There we go. If we could at least retake Paris, that would be something. That might actually shift enough war score to our side to make a white peace. And although our truce timer is still far from expiring, I might as well start fabricating other claims in England. So a lot of red in a sea of blue. Don't really care what happens to France. They were useful up to this point, but they no longer really serve our interests. I wouldn't even be that concerned if we had to sever our alliance with them, because they're not really useful to us. They're only useful insofar as they prevented us from just being overwhelmed by this coalition. Retaking Paris, now that is a help. There's also another small army here I think I can take out. Too bad France doesn't share the same interest in helping me with this battle, but I should be able to stack wipe it easily by myself. Nope, we don't get the stack wipe, but we do secure another victory. We're going to have to get out of there quick, because here comes another 20,000 man coalition army. Mind you, the war score disparity has shortened considerably. Now France is going for an attack into Paris, so I will have to assist them. This is a battle we should be able to win reasonably well. Let's see how we do in terms of rolls here. Doing okay. Yep, able to secure another victory. The war goal is win over 80% of our battles. Now, we're not anywhere near achieving that yet, but if we were able to get there, we may even be able to get some concessions, but I'm not particularly hopeful. Yeah, this war's been dragging on for quite some time. We'll see, though. Ever conscious of our deteriorating economic situation. Meantime, a really good idea would be to reoccupy some of these provinces, help France out a bit with their economy and their war exhaustion. France could sue for a separate peace, which would... Now you see, if France sued for a separate peace, whilst... This is how I understand coalition wars work, so just bear with me here a second. The war score from battles carries over, so if France sues for a separate peace, all the defeats France has in terms of war score will carry over and be transferred to me. So, if in this coalition France sued for a separate peace after having been beaten up and gave, say, concessions, then the war I would, once I became the sole defender in the war, I would also have a ton of negative war score from France, again being beaten up in so many battles, which means that they could demand concessions from me and I'd have no possibility to accept. That would be a problem. That's part of the reason why I'm fighting and helping France here. We do complete one more siege. France is going to attack into Poitou. I will go ahead and help him out, see if we can win this battle. Should be able to. Getting some excellent rolls here. Yeah, we are starting to slowly turn the tide a little bit here. I'm a little more optimistic. There's still a sea of red in what was an ocean of blue, but if we can eliminate these armies and start retaking, yeah, we take out another 5,000 regiments. Looking good, folks. Looking good. Hopefully France will assist us in this battle. Doesn't look like they're going to. They've got more important things to do, like siege down Raphel, so I'm going to have to suffer another defeat here for France's folly. I will continue war taxes. Yeah, that's a problem. War score in battles transfers over. So had I not aided France and they were absolutely beaten into a pulp, they sue for a separate peace. I am a negative war score. I have to accept whatever they offer, or I get a stability hit until I can no longer take the stability hit, in which case I get a forced concessions. And that would be extremely bad, which is why I am doing my best to ensure that if France does white peace out... Ah, okay. Alright, now this is interesting. France will see... So France does... So see what I mean? France sued for a separate peace. The war score carries over because we had won so many battles with France, and most of the negative war score came from occupation. When the war ends, we are actually in positive war score. So we might actually be able to get some concessions, which would be really good. And would totally vindicate my strategy up to this point. So if you couldn't understand why I was spending so much effort, considering how much debt I was in, trying to come to the aid of my continental ally, it should be clear now. I will, however, immediately evacuate my army from the continent and disband all my mercenaries. I also destroyed my last fortification in London, since the threat of rebels is no longer a risk, and we are on a, meteoric, or I should say, we're Sinking like the Titan. I'm trying to think of a good metaphor. It's not coming to me today, though, but... basically, we're gonna go bankrupt. That's the point I'm trying to get at. Sinking like the Titanic. So I'll withdraw these troops. I'll probably disband this regiment because there's a army sneaking over through France here because we both have military access. So I'll disband that regiment, retreat my army, and see what I can get in terms of peace concessions. Might even be able to get war reparations, which would somewhat pay for the amount of loans we had to take out to fight this war, but I don't know. Yep, this is part of the reason why I had to created so many heavy ships as a result of the estates interaction, because without those heavy ships, we wouldn't have been able to win against any, like, if we'd be at the mercy of nations like Denmark, Holland, coalitions, Castile. With heavy ships, we can actually hold out and get a little bit of war score in these conflicts. And I've just hit my monarch power cap, so we're going to take a really heavy modifier to, you know, to spend it in more military technologies. I'm wondering, it's probably best spending a bit of his military power in development, considering that we're you know, 35% ahead of time or whatever. Yeah, we cancel fleet basing rights, having evacuated our troops, because I want to save as much money as possible. Go back to improving relations with France, keeping them as an ally is useful. Mission, rival of a rival, that's usually a safe bet. And improve relations with Castile, because why not? Okay, just spending a bit of military power here. Holland has quite high war exhaustion. I don't have a free diplomat, actually. Repay a loan now that we've got low army maintenance. Look at all those loans being renewed. It's not a pretty picture. And continue on fabricating claims in England. So I'm not sure what we're going to be able to get in terms of concessions from Holland. Not too sure about that, but can I afford to lose 40 ducats? Probably not, but I don't like the alternative. String of bad news in terms of these financial events. So we pay as many loans as we can. Interest and servicing a debt exceeds the total amount we receive in and lose 1 stability. That's not too bad, because we did get a 1 stability positive event at the start of this episode, but we've had more than our fair share of unfortunate events. I will continue to raise war taxes. So the hope is that through our blockade we get enemy war exhaustion up high enough where they're actually able to offer some reasonably decent concessions. Go to states interaction. We can demand military support. I am not going to do that now, because if I did, we'd push ourselves over the cap, so I'll spend it. Remember this time, expend monarch power on development, and then I'll go back to states interaction and boost our military power. There we go. So I'm just taking a look at our overall situation with states. I'm trying to boost my influence with the clergy to 50%. If we can do that, we can get 100 administrative power as opposed to the much less favourable 50 that you get being sub 50% influence. There we go. Assign a few states, get the 100 administrative monarch power. Alright folks, I think I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in here. As always, thanks for watching. More episodes are sure to follow soon. And we'll see if we include this Warhammer schematic. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you shortly.